Hello and welcome. Man, what a journey that was. Battling tirelessly at a disadvantage day in and day out, streaming the game every day for 5 hours while keeping an above 50% win rate. Did I do it? Did I actually make it to S rank? Well, behold, the Armored Core 6 community.
Chaos.
Well, turns out if you poke the beehive of the terminally online, a lot of people with lack of good parenting and too much free time will not allow you to get what you want. They hate that I have any kind of name or power, so they will try to bring me down by talking about me constantly. Seriously, call me air the way I live in these people's heads. I should also mention that this is simply a third party. I don't believe that the entire community is like this, but at least on the PvP side, it's a fraction of the genuine hatred and spite towards me. And, you know, I understand it. I'm not the nicest guy from first impressions, and that's okay. But it must suck to watch the guy you hate thrive. But to answer it, furthest I managed to get was 6 wins into my S rank promos, which needs you to win 8 out of 10 matches with a margin of only 2 losses allowed. I got to S rank promos about 7 times, but sadly I lost the gamble on matches too many times, followed up by the unshowered people who couldn't kiss their mothers at New Year's Eve because they were too busy gatekeeping someone who didn't clap at them for playing the meta and getting S rank. All in all, I'm happy that I got here with a single build, knowing that nobody else could do what I do with the pile bunker, and especially knowing everyone who complains about me to any degree could not begin to hope playing this well at a disadvantage. I took this challenge to heart despite knowing everyone would try to play the best things in the game and win. I found fulfillment in defeating people who had objectively superior builds, a testament to piloting skill. And I'm glad you could be here to watch, as it was all streamed over on my Twitch channel in case you have any doubts about its legitimacy. The VODs won't be up forever though, as Twitch deletes them after so long. So, what's left now? Well, since I don't really have the drive to continue due to rejects chasing me with pitchforks and torches, I will instead give you some guidance as to what you can do as a melee player in the ranked ladder to make your life easier. You will lose. You are not supposed to win at a disadvantage, but you can fight happily knowing that you embrace something greater, pushing the boundaries of your skill instead of instantly giving to the meta because you fear any form of brain activity. My build for ranked has been the optimized version of Silver Lining, known as the Bronze Lining. I'm not gonna get into the tidbits too much aside from the really important facts about it. Kikaku is mandatory for the sake of chasing rats. A rat in this game is a build that runs away for the entire match, keeping distance and shooting missiles from a safe distance, engaging as little as possible, until the timer runs out or the enemy is destroyed. Kikaku's melee thrust outruns anything in the game, so we use these to catch rat players, which are very common in ranked. Santai is the ideal generator because we need a lot of capacity for the sake of melee cancelling and quick boosting. It'll take you a lot to actually reach people who keep away. A smaller generator would cause you to redline entirely. The Nachtrecher core is necessary as it has the highest booster efficiency adjustment in the game, making melee cancelling cost less EN, which in turn means we can utilize more melee cancels in total before we redline. There are also several techs that will help you in your journey up the ladder. Melee has arguably the highest skill ceiling in the game due to the nuances you have to master while being at a disadvantage. And you know, that's way too much brain activity for a lot of people, but that's why you're here playing Melee, right? You want to engage with the actual video game. Directional melee cancelling is extremely important. This serves several purposes, one of the main ones being the fact that you can dodge incoming fire instead of simply going at them in a straight line. And the other function is movement prediction, so if you manage to melee cancel into the enemy that's quick boosting away from you, you will land pulse blade hits way more often. Pile bunker cancelling can be used to close the gap on enemies extremely quick and land a charged pile bunker. Kikaku boosters have terrible quick boosting stats, so we can remedy that by utilizing a melee cancel from a light hit, getting the speed from the melee thrust, then quick boosting in the same direction to retain that momentum into a charged bunker hit, which retains momentum up until the end. I call this tech the stairs, which helps when enemies have been ACS overloaded above you or below you. You can quick boost backwards and use the light hit of the pile bunker to gain diagonal momentum. Then you repeat another backwards quick boost to reach the same elevation, giving you a punish whereas you would get nothing in return. Let's get a few things straight. You are not beating tanks and you are not beating shields. The only time you can is if the enemy is severely bad at the game. I'm talking like should be demoted to D rank if they lose to you type of bad. So if you see those, don't break spirit, but don't expect to win either. Now, I'll use some footage from my ranked climb to teach you a thing or two which will really help you on the journey to success shall you choose to play this build or anything similar to it with a melee weapon engage. Let's talk kites and rats. Due to Kikaku boosters, you should be winning this matchup as they are usually light to medium weight and have limited mobility, unless an aggressive kite which sticks close to you and guns you down while outmaneuvering you. The way to play is trial and error. Change up your angles, try to keep yourself in the same elevation as people who fly up, because melee has horrible verticality. If you land a pulse blade, it's usually a full combo or an expansion gone, and try to make use of the directional cancelling to minimize damage. As for tanks, it's pretty impossible to beat them usually, but what you can do with this build is build up ACS train via missiles and small Harris shots up until a certain point. Then you go in for a combo. The stagger of the pulse blade charge hit will keep you safe more often than not, and the second you're done, you go out and you repeat. Should take you 2 pile bunker hits to take him out. Another thing I'll mention is that the LCB shoulder mortars were a mistake, and I want whatever FromSoft was having when they decided to implement it. It's not entirely undodgeable, however, as seen in the clip behind me. There is some kind of pattern to dodging them. The idea is that the FCS loses track for the instance of quick boosting, meaning you have to predictively dodge before they fire, rather than reactively. And this can be pulled off against any other big weapon as well, such as bazookas. And that's about it. The rest should be practice, as I do have 400 hours on this build type, so don't expect to hop on and do what I do off the get-go. Hello again! Thank you very much for watching till the end. I'd like to touch on my last video since I saw a lot of comments that missed the point. And I'll admit, I wasn't good at wording it properly. Yes, the video was pretty much a rant, and I am upset because I am passionate about the game. You'd be inclined to criticize something you like more than something you don't like, solely because you want that thing to improve even more. I also understand that every game has a meta. I come from shooters where meta is also prevalent. The only difference being, this game's meta trivializes piloting skill entirely, whereas in a shooter, a good aimer with a pistol can defeat a bad one with an assault rifle. And that was it. That's the entire rant video summed up. I'm just a highly mechanical player that is upset because Armored Core 6 is just a game with 80% automated systems. And maybe that's just me forcing myself to play a game type I don't enjoy, but I am passionate about this game regardless. Thank you again for watching, and I hope the new year treats you well. The stagger of the pulse plate charge